Pack the bags, well this time I am headed north. Left the rags, won't need those where I'm going. Count the stacks, dodging cops, 'cause nobody here wants a bind. Took a pack, calling shots, pretend all the while that you're mine. And I'm always thinking of you, always thinking I could love you more. No, I'm always thinking of you, always thinking I could love you more. Burn it all, firelight deep in my eyes. Break the noose, heed the call, howling like one of our kind. These days, read clearly like a wolf in the snow. In some way, I feel you near me, and darling, as long as you know.
Come on, baby.
That I'm always thinking of you, always thinking. I'm always thinking
You're looking for some like really cool hungover
always
stuff.
thinking I could love you more.
Yeah, buddy.
Looks like it's on the other side of the tunnel.
Oh, heck yeah.
No, I'm always thinking I could love you more.
Gang, gang.
Wow.
Lord have mercy.
That's super bright.
Unnecessary.
He was working through college.
Continue on I-670 West for 1.5 miles.
They don't want nobody doing drugs in there.
Wow.
I was
There's half the state to the left.
So we made it to Colorado. Do you want to talk about the drive?
Very long, very dark, very wet.
Yeah, we left Lexington at like 5:30 and pretty quickly made it to Indiana, pretty quickly made it through Missouri, and then we got into Kansas, and Kansas was half the trip, it felt like.
It's probably like 10 hours, something like that.
Yeah, it was close to 800 miles. The first half of the trip, we got almost 20 miles to the gallon, like 19.9, 19.7. The longer we were out, the worse it got. But it was also pouring the rain for Kentucky time, like 1 to 4, something like that.
It was most of the night.
Yeah. And we started out, I took the first shift, and then when we ran out of gas, you took the second. And then we switched back, and I got tired, and like 100 miles later.
I drove like 7 hours.
Yeah, you drove a lot. You probably drove 2/3 of it. And then after that, we finally got here.
I only had to stop once for sleep.
There's a ton of stupid billboards on the way. There was the first one we saw was in somewhere near Louisville. It said
There's buffet.
yeah, the Amish buffet. No, that was in Illinois. It said Amish buffet, which sounds like a regular buffet, but there was also one that said butt drugs, B-U-T-T drugs, and it was a billboard for an ice cream shop. So, and there was another one. Oh, when we got to Kansas, there's a bunch of really cool signs that said like churches in this city, and then every 100 feet it'd have a different church with the denomination and all that. And then the other extreme was there was so many signs that were like, "Are you going to hell?" ? The answer is yes. Read Mark's Gospel. or a bunch of them had like a car wreck on the interstate and like what appeared to be the soul of a child floating into the air. And then all the sign said was, "I trust Jesus," and like the soul of the child was floating to meet Jesus in the clouds. And there were so many of them like that.
So what time did we get here?
We got here local time, like 10 o'clock.
What time was that our time?
I think it's like
10 or 11?
Noon our time.
So we drove what, from 6:30 to 11?
We probably left. I think we left Lexington at 5:30.
I said 5:30. Yeah.
Cause that's when I texted Rachel. I think after we were leaving the office, and we got here at our time, the same time zone. We'll say noon. So that's 12 plus 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. So that's 19 hours, 19 or 20 hours. But we stopped in the middle of the night when we took that break. We pulled off the interstate, found the nearest gravel road, parked on it, and slept for like 30 minutes. Turned out to be somebody's house. And as soon as we realized that, Trenton, of course, took a leak in the middle of their driveway. But
it was a big driveway, actually.
Gas varied a ton on the way up, too.
Yeah.
In Lexington right now, it's like $2.90-ish.
It's almost $4 someplace up here.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And some places it was as low as like $2.70 something. So it varied a lot.
But when you go through Kansas, just fill up whenever you get a chance, because it's one big flat sheet pan.
Yeah, Kansas was so. I mean, it was nonstop. Even most of Colorado, until we hit the Front Range where we are now, it was super flat.
Flat straight line. And then you get here and it's downhill.
Yeah, we got a ton of pictures. When we went through Missouri, there was a couple of cool bridges, maybe. And then
Kansas City had the arch.
That was St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis.
We got some really ugly pictures of that. We tried to take pictures of the state signs when we went through every state, but we missed one or two, and the ones we got were super ugly and blurry.
We were going fast.
The driving at night, though, was the way to go. The truck did super well. Absolutely. It never got over normal running temp, which is partly due to the rain, but also it's super, like, it's chilly right now. We'll end up using all the sleeping gear crap that we have before we go to bed.
Yeah. Got one climb in today. One decent climb.
Got a 10 minus in at one of the Clear Creek Canyon crags.
Before it started hailing.
I can't remember what it was called. It was like Ace in the Hole or something like that. It was so weird to climb on the rock is super hard compared to sandstone. And sometimes you're afraid you're gonna like break a chip off of a small piece, so you don't want to stand on it. But here it's rock solid. But the rock has tons of waves in it. Dang it!
Ooh.
That's the second time. The rock has waves in it, so it's super hard to tell what's actually like a flake and what's a.
I didn't hit a single flake today.
Yeah, I didn't either. There's no jugs here whatsoever that we've climbed so far, of the one route. But it was a crack route, and they usually have tons of. It was an arete.
It was right next to Whitewater Rapids. So you climbed over a valley.
Yeah, we took a ton of pictures coming into Colorado too, because Kansas was super flat, and you get to Colorado, and most of it's super flat too.
Going through Denver, it's flat.
Yeah, even through Denver. Like, we were on the far side of Denver before we even saw a mountain range, and it wasn't like slow transition. It was literally flat, and then you saw the mountains all of a sudden.
And you're in the mountains.
It was super cool, and the mountains were super nice.
And Denver's one big trash pit. Denver's nasty.
There's actually bags of garbage everywhere.
Bags. I mean, there's rolls of toilet paper all over the freaking road.
some tractor trailer full of toilet paper must have turned over on 70 West. We got on 64 West, somewhere right outside of Lexington. Took that through Missouri, and then from there on, we've been on 70 West for probably close to 1,000 miles.
That's probably more than 1,000 miles.
Yeah. We also, so this is the second campsite of the two. Everywhere we're gonna go, I had two campsites, like the super adventurous, rugged, nice views campsite.
4-wheel drive.
Yeah, and the like normal people campsite. This is a normal people campsite. We tried the other one.
I just took straight right.
Yeah, for reasons that make sense. We took a video when we were on the way out. I'm not sure if it was any good or not, but it was just non-stop, up, down, up, up, down. It took like 30 minutes to get back to the sites.
Yeah, we're snowflakes.
Yeah.
We're not meant for wilderness.
We're lucky we made it up and down in the mud. 'Cause the reason we quit climbing, we had more time to climb today. We're getting ready to go to bed, but it's only like
3 o'clock.
4:15 local time. We're both just killed, but what was I gonna say? Oh, we quit climbing because the weather rolled in some rain. It's been raining on and off real
And
light.
hail.
Yeah, and we were climbing. One of the guys was like, "Yeah, you better head out." And I was like, "Yeah, you talking about the rain?" And he goes, "No, it hails a lot here."
Hail's a
So,
lot here.
yeah.
Pretty frequent. Yeah.
But anything else eventful from the?
Not too much. Not much words can do.
Well, I will say the truck did pretty well, except for when we got into Colorado, started doing hills. When we started doing hills, we had to take it out of overdrive, and I had my foot to the floor for 5 or 10 minutes straight, just trying to do 65 going up some hills.
It's not like Colorado.
And it just shifted super hard. The gears were catching. But when we went down to Clear Creek Canyon where we climbed, we'll take a video tomorrow of
The roads.
in. It's absurd, the views.
You're looking straight at the ground.
Yeah, you go through a couple of really nice tunnels. Like it's just really nice. I'm surprised we've never come out here before. As nice as this
I'm
stuff
surprised I
is.
haven't seen more about it.
Yeah, or heard about it from because all my friends that climb or like do outdoor stuff, they go all the way to the East Coast. They never stop mid to eastern / areas like we are now.
Which if you drove through it, you'd understand. It looks like a piece of trash.
Yeah. But it was super nice. There's tons of buses with people that are whitewater
Whitewater
rafting down the river. We saw one group of people. There was like 6 or 7 rafts.
No, there was like 2 dozen.
It was a full bus
It was like
load.
40 people.
They had their rafts just out in the middle of a field, and they were all in there pretending to paddle. And it took everything within us not to scream, "You're not in the water!" as we drove by. We may try it tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, so where we're camping now, if that spoon falls, so help me. Where we're camping now is just a generic site that's free for most people. So that's the road that comes in, and we just parked my truck right there. Yeah, that's what we did. And then we threw up a tarp, and it started raining pretty bad, so we just hunkered down, and then we got comfortable and stayed seated, and now we're eating dinner. True Dave Ramsey. We had a bunch of ramen, and now we're doing the rice and beans things to make Papa Ramsey proud. Yeah, Jake's doing rice and beans, but yeah, I guess that's all. Send the video tomorrow of the awesome drive in and out. We've got probably 2 days worth of climbing in this area.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do that thing where we bop the camera for the transitions?
No.
Okay.